Hello and welcome to Hixxy Studio. In this video I am going to show you how to make this card, bright and cheerful one, using this stamp set from Aall Create. It's number 287. It's called Dirty Games and it has these three lovely pigs which I've used, and we've used the Oink and the Sending Warm Hogs. It's got lots of really cute little sentiments all based around pigs, like sending warm hogs, go hog wild, missing you pig time, missing your snout, those kinds of things. So I've gone for something a little bit different. I've seen other cards with this where they've created the scene with the fence and the barn, but I decided not to go that route. I decided to do something a little bit different. So let's see what we've got. So the background, I am going to start with the background, and I've made that onto Faber-Castell mixed media paper. It comes in a pad. We've got it on the website. I really like it. It's really great for blending, and I wanted to do quite a bit of blending with the inks on this. So this is, you can see, bigger than I need. So I'm going to start with the inking, and then I'm going to cut it down once I've done that, and then add a little bit of stenciling and a little bit of stamping. Okay, and then we'll look at the pigs. Right, so the colours. I have gone for shaded lilac, peacock feathers, picked raspberry, and when I do the pigs, I will use the picked raspberry for the pink and then ground espresso for the sort of mud. And I've, in the mats and layers, I've used a little bit of craft card just to tie in with that brown, so that it's not just here, that it's actually in another part of the card. Okay, so I'm going to grab my inking mat, and I'm going to start from the middle. Am I going to start from the middle and work out? I think I will start from the middle and work out. Quite often I start from the corners and work in, but I'm going to start from the middle, I think, and work back out. Okay, so the first colour I'm using is shaded lilac, which is quite a light colour, and as you'll see, I'll bring this in a minute. It's not going to look, I just do that bit. It's not going to look like that when we finish. It kind of blends in with the rest. So I'm doing this sort of cross diagonally. I tend to always do my blends diagonally, not all the time, but a lot of the time. Now the reason I like this this mixed media paper is you can see that the ink is just sitting there. It's not soaking in straight away. It gives you lots of time to blend, and that's why when I want to do some real sort of blending of colours, I like this kind of paper. So I'm now taking the peacock feathers and I'm coming down through here. Okay, I'm not using too much pink. Just a little bit will be on the corners because obviously we've got the pink of the pigs and I don't want it all about pink. So I've got the peacock feathers on, but I'm going to start going back in and start blending, and you can see the colours are just moving around and merging because of the way the mixed media paper, just, I say paper, it's quite heavyweight. It's more like a lightweight card than I'd say than a paper, but it just, you can see that those colours are blending in together. I'm going to put some more of the peacock feathers in and then back in and kind of merge it all together like so. And I'm just going to grab a little piece of paper because otherwise I'm going to start putting my, as you can see already here, my finger marks, which I really don't want. So I'm now going to grab in my picked raspberry, which I'm putting in the corners. Some of this you see is it will get cut off because remember this piece of card is way bigger. Now you can see already where that's hitting the peacock feathers, it's already starting to become purple. Because peacock feathers, although it's kind of green, it is still a blue, more sort of a bluey shade, and it will start to make purple because we're mixing it on the palette. What I am noticing is I'm losing my peacock feathers. So you see it's getting an ever decreasing line. So I'm going to go back in with that and I'm going to increase that into the middle. And again, got plenty of time to be doing this because this paper just allows that to happen. So coming a little bit back into here and then bringing in the peacock, the pink, sorry, the picked raspberry is what I was trying to say, and what would come out my mouth was pink, which it is. Okay, so got a fair bit of the peacock feathers this side. Not lost it quite in the same way as over that side. Oh, careful with my finger marks. You can see it's all really just blending in, not sort of hopefully not sort of too harsh lines, although in the middle it is going round a little bit more. Okay, right, so that's okay to start with. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little bit of stamping around the edge. And I'm actually going to use the fence stamp just to kind of, in fact, no, I'm not going to do that. The reason I'm not going to do that is because I haven't cut it down yet. If I put that round and then cut it down, I'm going to lose a lot of that. So I think what we'll do is I'll give this a bit of a heat blast and then we'll cut it down to the size we want, and then we'll do the a bit of stamping and the stenciling, and then we'll get on to the pigs themselves. Okay, I'm just going to put the lids back on my inks for the moment, and I'm just going to put the brushes with them, move that out the way so that I'm not getting ink everywhere. I am just going to spray my fingers just to get rid of a little bit of the ink that I've got on there. Okay, so what I've got here, I've got my base card and I've got all my mats and layers ready to go. So I'm just going to stick that on, and then we're going to measure up for cutting this piece of background. Now you don't have to sort of cut it afterwards. You could pre-cut it to exactly the size you want, but I find sometimes when you make a background that it doesn't always work out the way you think it will, and you might decide, oh, you know, I wish it was a little bit that way or a little bit that way. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So I've got a little bit more pink this end, so we'll come in a little bit this way, and I'm going to just mark it with my pencil. I'm going to go there, and we're going to go there. So we're going to cut that first. Once I've done that, then we'll look at the other way. Make sure that's up against the top. Cut that and turn it on that way. Make sure it's pushed up against that bit up there and there. Okay. So that's that way. So now which side? I don't think it makes too much difference this time. We'll kind of go for even. We'll go there. And we'll go. Oops, left it up there. Push up to the top there. And then down. And then, yeah, push up to the top. You're getting caught on something there. It's not wanting to push right up. There you go. And there. So we've now got our piece that is ready to go on there. Now we need to add the rest of the background onto it. So let's move that out of the way. Bring this back in. Okay, so as I was saying before I realised I needed to stop. Might go on there. Yeah, I'll go on this one. I'm using the fence as a stamp. Obviously it's a stamp. Oh, stupid comment, really. I'm using it as a background stamp as opposed to making it part of the focal image. Okay, so I'm going to go along the bottom with stamping it in Mermaid Lagoon. So I'm going to go like so. I could really have my I'll do. As I say, I should really have my mat underneath, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Going along like this. And then same. Oh, not to worry, I'm not too bothered about that because I'm going to put in other stuff across there. Okay, and then I'm just going to take that off, and then I'm going to get the picked raspberry and I'm going to do that there and same at that end, like so. Okay, and then I just take that off, and put that back on there. And then we're going to use two different stencils. I've got number 38. This is by Olga again, the same lady that made these stamps. And I'm going to use sort of more this sort of crackled end. It's called Cracked Walls 2. And then this one, the number 125, which is lots of semicircles. Okay. They're not going to be too in your face, really, but they are going to be just add to our background. And I'm not really doing much in the middle. I don't want to make it too busy in there. I want most of it to be around the edge, which is why I wanted to cut it to size before I do anything. So as I can already see, because I haven't cleaned my stencil, this is the area of stencil that I was using, and I kind of concentrated mostly in these two corners, and I'm just using the shaded lilac, which you think, oh, well, that's not going to do much. You'd be surprised at how well this shows up over the top of that. And then again, I'm going to do it down in this corner over the top of here. So you can see that it's showing up there. Okay, so that's that one. And then I'm going to take, again, you can see I haven't cleaned my stencil. You can see where I used it. And I used the peacock feathers with this and sort of just in the corners again. Like along. I do like all these tiny little ones. They're quite big. And then again up here. Like so. I'm just going to I feel like I'm going to really kind of what's the word? Oh, I don't know. It's kind of really smudge it. That's what I was looking for. Smudge it. Okay, so there's our background, and I'm going to leave that to dry for a moment, and just going to clean this off because obviously I want to now sort my pigs out. So I'm just going to give this a spritz. Looking for my white paper, which isn't the hand. Oh. Yes. Oh, where is it written? No, there it is. There's a pad. And use that to mop up. Excuse me. Mop up that ink. Like there. For the moment. Okay, so then now what we want to do is we want to stamp our pigs and colour them. So I'll stamp them all to show you what they look like, but I am only going to paint one because I have already painted them and cut them out just to save a little bit of time. So I'm going to grab my stamping this time. It's just white stamping card now, and I would like this one. And so we've got the 3 pigs, and I am using Finesse, Spectrum Noir waterproof dye, and I'm using Pebble, which is a nice, oh excuse me, a nice kind of browny colour, sort of grey brown, rather than a black. So let's get this one first. The nice little stamps you can use up if you're cutting them out like I am. You can use up little scraps of stamping card for these. So that's the one sitting upright in the mud, and then you've got this little guy who is lying down on his belly in the mud. Like so. Oh, he didn't stamp so well. Not to worry. I won't colour that one in. As I said, I've already got them stamped. Yeah, feel free to use a stamp press, which I must admit I do tend to do. But I did think I would. It's always a way. But no, I'll be alright, you know. But no. And this little guy who is sat on his bottom. I'd say him. Yeah. There you go. So those are the 3 pigs that you have in the set. Okay. So we are going to use just 2 colours. I'm going to use picked raspberry to make them nice bright pink pigs, and then I will use ground espresso in a moment to do the mud. So I just need a little bit of water, and and I'm going to make this quite this a little bit nice and watery, and I'll paint this little guy. And I'm just going to, this is nice and sort of watered down. I'm going to go over all of the body area with this watered down wash, if you like. And then once I've done that, we'll go back in and start to add in some shade with the sort of less dilute colour. So you can see there I've added a little bit of shadow under the ears, around the snout, and then go back into my diluted bit. Still got quite a lot of pigment on, not to worry, because I can go back in and add more in a minute. And then round there, shadow there, and under there. These little bits I've gone straight over. You can go back over them later with the brown again. So this needs to be in shadow. That brings that leg forward. I need to put a bit more than that, I think. Back. There we go. So let's say the purpose of putting in the shadows and things is to try to give a sense of 3-dimension in your colouring. And then there and under there. I'm just going to mix up a little bit more water into this. And then put it on the top of his ears. Like so. And I would do a similar thing with the other pigs, you know, to colour in their skin. Okay, and then the ground espresso for the mud. So again, water it down really well and give all the area that is mud a oh, and I can see I've missed a little bit. Oh no, his tail's going to be covered in mud. I could have gone back in with pink there, but I think we'll presume it's covered in mud. Now there's no point me doing those two bits, because once I cut it out you're not going to see them. So yeah, no point. So let's add in some shadow like before. So same principle as what we did with the pink, but in the lighter shade. I'm not worrying if I'm going over, because this would be cut out. So I'm putting the darker area where there would be shadows. Like so. And then again, kind of under here, where the leg is. Little bits of white I've got in here, so go back in with a little bit of pink. Pull it in. And again, similarly with the others with the mud, you'd look for the areas of shadow and shade those in. There is another video where I've painted this one if you want to see how this one looks, or how you would paint this one. Okay, so I'm going to put that then to one side, because I have already got these painted and cut out here. There's 3 pigs, and I've already gone ahead and stamped the 3 I've used Oink twice and Sending Warm Hogs, and I have just done this all by hand with a pair of scissors, stamped it, chopped it up, not worried whether it's straight or not, then stuck the white onto pink, chopped it up, pink onto craft, chopped it up, and the craft onto the turquoise and chopped it up. So not having to worry at all about trying to get it all straight. So okay, so here is my now I'm not, what I'm thinking is where I put this, or what I might do is put that up there so that I can use that to go over that little cover that little bit that I managed to get in there. So let's stick this on first, and then we're going to use some 3D glue gel for the rest of it. So this is going on here. I'm just going to grab a little piece of, let's use this, fold it in that way, and then I'm just going to press that down. And you can see there's still wet ink, which is why I didn't just want to rub my fingers over it, because I would sort of smudge the ink and make my fingers even worse than they already are, which isn't quite a feat to make them worse. They are messy as it is. Okay, so our next job is to position our pigs. So I think we'll go same as I did before, this way round. So all I've done there was just with my fingers, I've just given them a little bit of shape, so that they not sort of raised and flat. They've actually got a little bit of dimensions. Let's put the middle one on first. I was going to say put the first one on first. Oh yeah, that would be useful, wouldn't it? So there's the first little pig, and then second little pig, and then our third little pig. And then we'll put our little messages on. So there's sending warm hugs, and then 2 oinks. Making sure we put one over that little bit that I didn't like, and the other one over there. So there we have my Oink Oink card, using this Aall Create stamp set 287 called Dirty Games. So if sometimes I don't mind making scenes when you've got these sort of component parts to make them, but I just sort of wanted to show you don't have to use a stamp set like that. Even if that's how it comes, you can use them in different ways. Well, like I've done with the fence, to just create the frame around, sort of on the background. So yeah, beautiful little set. Have a look on the channel, because there's another video, like I said, using this stamp set, and lots and lots of other videos there too that will hopefully inspire you. But thank you for joining me.